Why is it hard for men and women to communicate effectively?
Why do you think it is?
I think because one main thing.
What's that?
Everybody wants to be heard. No one wants to listen. Everybody's trying to get their point across without listening. So when you can't effectively do anything when everybody is talking and everybody's ears is closed. Once one mouth is open, the other one should be shut and ear should be, so you can hear it. And like they say, sometimes we just listen so we can respond. We don't even hear the full conversation. We don't even hear the full question. We just hear what we about to respond to.
Right.
So that is why. And again, it goes back to a lot of two people taking pages out of other people's books and applying it to their situation. And that shouldn't be the case. You can't, do what Susie and Bob over there doing.
I agree with that.
So I feel like that's why they can't communicate effectively. Because by the time you got to think about it, by the time men and women sit down and have a time to talk and have a conversation, it's been an argument. They're already mad.
Yeah, one motherfucker already halfway out the door.
It ain't no, hey, you gotta know me again. Can we talk about something before that pot done boiled? Right. You see what I'm saying? It's hot right now and be like, dang, I just noticed something. Let's have a conversation. And that's what people probably need to start doing, is being upfront with that. Like, hey, I noticed something. Can we have a talk before it
escalate?
Yep.
Yeah. I agree with that 1,000,000,000%. I think that something I can add on to that is that people don't, if they listen, they don't listen objectively. Like when they have their preconceived notion.
Yeah.
A lot of times when men and women come into a conversation space, whether it be an established relationship or online, they have their preconceived notions about one another. So no matter what you say, I'm not objective enough to hear it. Like, I'm going to listen. I'm going to wait my turn, but I'm not going to adequately process nothing you said to where I could already have in my mind, well, she going to say, all men, dogs, all they want to do is sit and play video games, whatever. And you say, well, some men slip up and I don't care about video games. Well, you going to.
Yeah.
I'm like, damn, now I got to sit back and go back to the lab, erase my preconceived notions of how to respond. I think the most effective person in the conversation is the one who actually hears and listens.
Right.
To where you hear it and then you listen and you process it and then you make your statement.
Right.
I think that's the most effective way to communicate. I think that the reason why it's tough too is because it's a lot of vanity. A lot of, I want to be right.
Yeah.
A lot of, I'm smarter than you, or you're not as smart as you think you are, or this is what's wrong with you bitches today. Yeah. If a man comes into a conversation like this is what's wrong with you bitches today, it never ends fruitfully.
Right.
Or, you know what I'm saying? All you niggas, this, that. It's never. So I think the most effective way to communicate is on a one-on-one basis.
Yeah.
To where it's not outside influences interjecting or taking control of your emotions, your feelings to persuade you or push or prod you to respond in a certain way.
Right.
And in the context of a one-on-one relationship, something we do good is like when we have our issues, they are issues.
Right.
It's never a bunch of people or any people at all who sit there and play referee.
Right.
We handle our shit and we get mad at each other. Sometimes we don't effectively communicate.
Right.
But when we do sit around and think about it, we're able to come back around and be like, okay, this, that, and other.
Right.
And I think that you have to know who you with. And this portion is about relationships. If you know that you have a private partner, I'm not a person who want everybody in my business.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And you the same way. If you are within that relationship, you have to respect those boundaries. You have to know that your partner I don't want you calling your buddies and being like, here you go again with this know-it-all shit. You know what I'm saying? That like that, or vice versa. Whatever you don't
Yeah.
want me. Oh God, she did it again. You know, she just keeps hurting me. You know what I'm saying? Nobody wants that because it's not people on the outside of relationships always over critique.
Mm-hmm.
And they're usually only getting one side of that story.
Mm-hmm.
And so they're not going to offer sound advice.
And two, you got to understand too, even with that, bringing outside people in, 9 times out of 10, the women are only sharing the bad.
Yeah.
So right then and there, you already gonna have that out there. They in a fucked up relationship.
Hell yeah. Then they gonna tell their other friend who you told. Everybody know he ain't shit.
Yeah.
But for people who aren't in relationships and just black men, black women in general, it's just the basis of fruitful communication has to be a certain level of respect before they engage.
Yeah.
So this is if anybody trying to have a fruitful conversation or debate online, you have to first and foremost remember, and sometimes it get hard to remember that that's not your enemy.
Right.
These black men aren't your enemy. Of course, this nigga who wouldn't get no job, who blah, 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 or this woman who blah, blah, blah. Leave that with her. Leave that with him. The next, treat each situation like an individual situation.